Alright guys, what's going on guys? It's your boy Kree here bringing guys another Borderlands 3 video. In this Borderlands 3 video, I'm going to be going over what is in my personal opinion the best Flak build for the raid Takedown at Maliwan's black site. I used a few different builds including like a crit build, a rack build. However, I believe that none of those builds are the way to do this raid here. The build is very similar to the Radiation Nation build I did a couple weeks ago, but it does have some minor changes to it. With that all being said though guys, we'll go ahead and hop straight into it. Alright guys, here we are at the build here. So we're going to be speccing to the Stalker tree and the Master tree here. So we're going to start things off in the Stalker tree. We have 3 out of 5 in the self-repairing system, so we have constantly regenerate health and a bit of a maximum health increase. 5 out of 5 in a Furious Attack. It's a Hunter skill. After shooting an enemy, Flak gains a stack of Furious Attack. 2% gun damage per stack, handling 4.8% per stack, pet damage 3% per stack, and you can stack it up to 10 times and each one lasts 4 seconds. Coming down here, Eager to Impress, kill skill. Whenever Flak kills an enemy, action skill cooldown time is reduced. 2 out of 5 when overclock, increased fire rate and even more fire rate after reloading. 3 out of 3 in a turn, chain and run. This is definitely one of the best perks in this tree. While moving, Flak constantly regenerates health and gains damage reduction, while still Flak gains gun damage and fire rate. Very good. 1 into 1 to lick of the wound, baby. 4 out of 5 in a hidden machine. When an enemy has no target or is attacking a different target, Flak deals increased damage against them. 3 out of 3 in the Fast and the Furious. While above half health, Flak's gun damage and movement speed are increased and their pet gains increased damage. Very nice set of perks right here. Coming down here to Rage and Recover, kill skill. After killing an enemy, Flak and Flak's pet regenerate health for a few seconds. So once again, another set of regen perk here. Then we come down here into Power Inside. Flak and Flak's pet gain increased damage when Flak activates an action skill. If Flak is at full health, the increased damage is doubled. This goes very hand in hand with our Master tree here. So we have 3 out of 5 into Ferocity. Flak's pet deals increased damage. 3 out of 3 into Persistent Hunter. Increases Flak's gun damage and action skill duration. Very important right here. This one is a very good perk. 1 out of 5 into Who Rescued Who. Whenever Flak's pet deals damage, Flak regenerates health for a few seconds. Yet again, another set of regen here. I'm trying to go for a lot of sustainability for this, as in the raid you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Coming down here into He Bites, when Flak pet takes damage, the pet returns some of that damage to the attacker. Honestly, if you want, you could totally throw this into Go for the Eyes or Frenzy or Who Rescued Who. I just want to have a little bit of extra damage reflected from the pet, because the pet actually plays a very important role in this build. Then we have 3 out of 5 into Frenzy. Hunter skill, whenever Flak pet deals damage, Flak and their pet gains a stack of Frenzy. Each stack of Frenzy increases damage. The stacks decay after a few seconds, max stack of 10. Coming down here into Psycho Head on a Stick. Hunter's kill skill, whenever Flak kills an enemy, their pet gains increased movement speed and damage for a few seconds. Awesome. 3 out of 3 into Hive Mind. When Flak takes damage, a portion of all damage that they take is shared to their pet. Coming down here into Mutated Defenses, when Flak's pet is at lower health, it gains damage reduction and regenerates health. This skill has a long cooldown. Coming over here into Barbaric, Yop increases the power of pet bonuses granted to Flak. So very important thing right here. Also, if you wanted to take that one from He Bites and to max this one, you totally could. Then we come down here to Pack Tactics. All damage dealt by Flak and their pet is increased. Additionally, their maximum health of both Flak and their pet is increased. A very good perk right here. If you wanted to take this one out of, this one out of He Bites and put it in here, you could max this one out. Totally understandable. There's a lot of wiggle room here within the Master tree where you can dump a few extra skill points if you feel like you don't want any Ferocity. You don't want Mutated Defenses, you can totally, flit around. This is just the base that I have for the build here. Coming over, obviously we're using Gamma Burst. Gamma Burst is so underrated, it's so good. We're using Empathetic Rage. For the duration of Gamma Burst, damage dealt by Flak is increased. So you just have a 20% buff while Gamma Burst is active. And honestly, you're going to be having Gamma Burst active probably 90% of the time you're doing this. So you're going to have a constant 20% buff. Then coming down here into Burst Aid, after using Gamma Burst, the Rift remains for the duration of the skill. While standing near the Rift, Flak and their allies rapidly regenerate health. 20% per second. This right here is so crucial for the build. This allows for a nice set of area to quickly regen health and constantly be at max health if you stay near, giving you some extra bonuses coming down over here. Oops, right here in the power inside. So that's why we're running burst aid. Oops. If you want to change something else, you could, but I would highly recommend keeping burst aid and empathetic rage. So moving on into the weapons here, the loadout that we're going to be using. We're going to be using, I would definitely recommend some sort of, you definitely want to run at least one arc weapon and one corrosive weapon. For my choices is the binary Cutsman. Cutsman is just very good. It does a crud load of damage with this build here. It allows for some very nice damage. It also allows you to spread damage across a wide variety as the bullets travel and spread further across as they go on. So this gun right here, the Cutsman, if you have one, definitely put it on 100%. Then I follow that up with the Lucian's Call. This is for yellow health bar enemies. The Lucian's Call is a very, very, very great assault rifle. Another good one you could use, you could definitely use something like a Sploder over here that I have. However, the Lucian's Call doesn't really have that much range holding it back like the Sploder does. So that's why I like this one. Plus, you know, critical hit returns 2 bullets to your magazine. Yeah, allowing you not to reload is pretty great. Okay, so then we're going to be running some radiation stuff here. I'm running a Flacker for mobbing. This thing does great damage and hordes of enemies, especially in the takedown when there's a shit ton of hordes of enemies. And then I have the Itchy Devil foursomes here, plus 33% weapon damage and 288 splash damage. Also a very strong AoE damage weapon here. These two weapons combine very well together to apply lots of AoE damage, and they just do a lot of damage overall. However, I want to note this real quick. When you are at the stage right before you get to Wotan, I would highly recommend switching off the Flacker for a Lyuda here. I use a shock Lyuda to rip off his shield extremely fast. However, if you don't have a shock Lyuda, that's fine, but I would still recommend putting on a Lyuda for the Flacker once you get to Wotan. Coming down here to the shield here, we have the Transformer, converts 100% of shock damage into shield. I like to run this one mainly because you're going to be, whenever you're in the raid, there's a shit ton of enemies that do a lot of shock damage. And, you know, having this immunity to shock damage is great, and 40% chance to absorb bullets is even better. The Transformer is overall a really good shield. So your class mod here, I'm using the Stalker. If you want to use something that actually specs into either the tree that we looked at earlier, you totally can. I like to run this one mainly because Flak's hunt skill power is increased by 25%. I get a 31% damage buff to my Cutsman here, a 31% damage to my Lucian's Call, and then a 31% damage buff to my Lyuda when I put it on. Then we're going to be using a Murifex here as our grenade. Murifex is really good, obviously, for, I mean, everyone knows it's good. Even after the nerf with this build, it can still spread out really good damage over time. If you don't have one, you know, Firestorm works well, a Gas Call works well. Definitely, a Gas Call would be a really good idea if you don't have a Murifex. Then we're coming into our class mod here. Alright, so for your class mods here, you could use anything really. You could use an idol. Another good one that I was using the Endowment here for the 40% magazine size increase and the radiation damage and resistance. Since I'm using quite the bit of radiation damage, I just had that changed because I just got out of a fight with Tyrene, so that's why that was changed. Anything else? Anything with like regenerates with like 149 health right here, like this one does, that's also very good. Plus this one has 50% damage to shotguns while sliding. A plus 40% fight for your life downtime is also pretty nice. Overall, I would just recommend a a artifact that complements your overall weapon loadout. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the actual build here and the equipment. If you did get something useful, make sure to drop a like, and we're gonna go ahead and finish off the video here. Well guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the build, and I hope that the build does help you beat the new raid. It's designed to have great sustainability and keep you alive, and even if you do die, your pet can play MVP and revive you. Overall, I had so much success with this build and highly recommend it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. As well as if you like the video, then make sure to drop your load on that like button, subscribe if you're new, and give that bell down there a little bit of a love tap for me. I greatly appreciate it. Also, join our Discord, link at the top of the description. Anyways, my name's Kree. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.